Mark Brimer is running his company that supplies solutions, primarily through referrals by using his superpower for networking and connecting people. A few years ago, this led Mark to found the St. Louis Networkathon. How many have been to the Networkathon? Cool. A free quarterly event where 200 plus professionals learn to network in a fun, systematic environment. Today, Mark is posing the question, is your business harder than it should be? Please welcome Mark.
Okay, so this is kind of interactive because I wanted to give you a sheet to take notes on if you so choose. So I'm not just reading, I'm also going through this. So is your business harder than it should be? We've got 4 topics today. We're going to start with hiring. Do you have a clear job description and ideal candidate qualifications? Because a lot of times people put something vague online and they don't get any responses and they're wondering why. Well, that's the reason why. Once you've got that down, 3 ways to do that. One, you post online, because a lot of people don't think, a lot of people today do think, but a lot don't think, hey, if I just put this online, my network might be able to help me. Number 2, if you do face-to-face networking, share with your network. Let people know that you're hiring because they can't read your mind. Their cousin, their uncle, their neighbor might have just lost their job and be a perfect candidate. And then also ask people who are your service providers. Ignore the typo in the middle of line 3. I just noticed that a minute ago. But other than that, see if your service providers might have another client, maybe a staffing company or somebody else who could help you with that. Because again, having the right people on your team makes all the difference in the world. If you don't have that, you're going to be working a lot harder and your business is going to be much harder than it should be. Next, money. We all like money, but it is a necessary evil. Do you have the money available before you need it? One thing that a lot of people, and I learned this, luckily not the hard way, but learned this is always have money available before you actually need it, because once you need it, it's hard to get it. So number 1, have a great relationship with a banker, one you can trust, and also have a line of credit. Doesn't have to be a big line of credit, but we all get in situations where we have more money out than the people owe us than we'd like, and we have expenses that, of course, come in right at the same time. So it allows you a little bit of financial flexibility. Number 2, know what your break even is every month. Don't guess. Know exactly how much you need to bring in money to cover those bills and maybe have a little bit of fun money per se to keep your business rolling. Because the thing is, again, guessing and money are not 2 things you want in the same sentence. Because usually that, what are you laughing? Is that funny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm telling jokes here too. Okay. But no, guessing and money usually do not go well together. Also, if you're in the product world, negotiate with your suppliers. If you're in the speaking world, negotiate with your venues. Say, I can bring you 3 quarterly events if you can reduce my room rate by X amount, or throw in this and that. It's an easy way for speakers to make more money, or more profit, I should say, off of the event you're already doing. Because you know what, if you're bringing them ongoing business, they're going to be more willing to negotiate versus, I'd like to do 1 event this year versus, could I book 12 events this year? Could I book 20 events this year? That's less work they have to do and more consistent business walking in their door of people that get to see their venue that might use them for their event, which could be a trickle-on effect. So I also put their ideas so you can write ideas for each of the sections as well. The next one is marketing. Have a plan. Don't spray and pray. Everyone's laughing, but we've all done it. Let's be honest. Well, we have doing good with jokes here. This is awesome. No, make sure you have a professional looking website versus one your nephew did who's 12 years old. I know we all need to be conscious of dollars, but having a good website is the face to the world these days. It's what it is. It's not the 1950s. People are checking you out online whether you realize or not. And if your website looks like you're a janky business that's not reliable, they're not going to go to you. Or would you go to a chiropractor who had someone with a hammer on the front of the site saying, I can fix your back? No? Or maybe even Brian Rogers stick figures on there saying, I'm a professional lawyer. This is, Dan, that says a lot about you. Well, let me guess, you rode a motorcycle here today, didn't you? Okay, that's a, yeah. No, and then next, Make sure you have at least two face-to-face networking groups if you're going out actively looking for business, maybe even up to four, because here's the thing. It's great to meet the same people, but you have to mix people in because what I've learned is the more you can mix people from group to group, the more reliable you seem, the more people are thinking of you because the more people you connect with each other, the more thinking of you of rooms you're not even in. And the more people talk about you in rooms you're not even in, the more top of mind you are. And the more top of mind you are, guess what? The more calls you get when they have a need for you and what you do. The third thing is online. Pick the best platform and look at the results to make sure you're not just donating money saying, ooh, Facebook sounds good this month. Let's put $2,000 in Facebook ads. Obviously, there are people who do that for a living, which you can obviously talk to as well, and they can help, but just don't spray and pray on that. The next thing we're going to talk about is sales. Everyone is not your ideal customer, trust me. Because even though you can sell to anybody, not everyone's your ideal customer. For instance, as you all know, I own an office supply company. Could you imagine if I stood up every time I spoke, go, hi, I'm looking for people who wipe their tissue with toilet paper. We sell that. That's going to make you think of absolutely nobody. You want to be as specific as possible. You want to tell everyone what you do and pick a lane. Because if you swerve out of your lane, you're going to get hit. So in my business, we work with lawyers, CPAs, and car dealerships for networking purposes now. We work with a lot of other people, but if I say, oh, we work without anyone, nobody comes to mind. But if I say lawyer, CPA, and car dealership, I bet you might know a lawyer. You might know a CPA, John Brandwein's not here, and you might know a car dealership who you bought a car from most recently. That at least takes the world and makes it a little more specific for you. Next, make sure that you can describe what you do to a kindergarten student. It was very funny because I took one of my nieces when she was 11 to a business expo. It was hilarious because watching these people describe what they did for a living to an 11-year-old was comedy in the making. This insurance agent was talking about premiums and other things. The 11-year-old's looking at, he goes, okay, thank you. Goes, what do they do? I go, you pay them money every month, and if your house burns down, you get a new house. Oh, that makes sense. Or for the financial advisor, oh, we have all these investments and mutual funds. So, okay. I said, I gave someone $500 about 12 years ago. That $500 is now $1,700. You got $1,200 for doing nothing? Exactly. That's why you invest your money. Guess who has an investment account? Her and her sisters. So the point is, if you can't describe your business to a 5-year-old, even if it's not perfect, but it's close enough, you're not doing a good job because here's the thing. We're realistically at kindergarten level in things we don't do. Trust me, if anyone knows me, you don't want me picking up a hammer and trying to build something in your house because the only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get hurt. Okay? So you have to be able to explain what you do so simply that they can understand because again, no one's going to go, wait, what do you do? Because none of us like to look stupid. So make sure that you're giving the information so people can digest what you do so they can understand, refer you, and use you. And the third one is have a process about what you do. How are you going to work with that client that's going to be referred to you from them? Because no one likes to refer somebody and look like a fool and say, oh, talk to Mark. He delivers pens. Oh, wait, you wanted ink in that pen? Well, that would obviously make the person who referred them to me look really silly. So what I do with my business, I share exactly once a referral happens, what that process is. So tell people who, if you're expecting people to refer you people, have them explain to them how you're going to work with that client. What does that onboarding process or the introductory process to do business look like so they feel comfortable with everything that's going to happen. They'll be more confident to refer people and more people your way. So overall, planning for the unthinkable. If something unthinkable happened in your business today, would you know what to do next? I have a plan. If all my employees walked out today, I have a plan. Hopefully I never have to use that plan, but I have a plan. So I know I'm in the product world and a lot of you are in the speaking world, but imagine if all your clients disappeared. What would you do tomorrow? How would you restart your business? Would you go make sandwiches at Subway? Would you have a plan to get it restarted? What does that look like? Have a plan. So the second thing I was going to mention of that is, what if you had a large bill that was unexpected? Would you be ready for it? Do you have more than a few months of revenue ready to go to handle that? How would you get that money? Now, we talked about the line of credit earlier, but let's say your line of credit's tapped. Now what? What are you going to do? Who do you know that could help you with that? Have a plan. And then Who can you talk about the good and bad in business? Is it a business friend? Is it a business coach? Is it a spouse? Maybe a friend from high school? But have a plan. So all those things, if you're planning for all those, can make business easier, not harder than it should be, because we all have unexpected things that happen. The last thing I'll share with you is this. We all have everyday wins and losses in our business, unless your business is different than mine. My goal is always to have the smallest losses possible, the biggest wins possible, but don't ride the roller coaster of emotion every time your business goes up and down, because it will put you in the ground quicker than you can imagine. Watch the roller coaster, understand the roller coaster, but make sure that you enjoy the ride from the top, not in the seat. Hope you have a great day, everybody.